So, my name is Imran Azam, and I'm going to be discussing three workplace-related issues in diversity, equity, and inclusion, and how we can use allyship, sponsorship, and mentorship to mitigate and deter some of these in the workplace. So, I will be starting with diversity and equity and inclusion as a whole, which is basically the idea of recruiting and supporting workers of various different backgrounds and ethnicities, in the belief that is integral to the company's success and involves policies of bringing people together and initiatives and policies designed to help all employees feel welcomed and safe. So the idea of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, in the workplace is to establish a safe and comfortable workplace for everybody, so that employees feel safe, they want to work there, and they can perform their jobs at their highest efficient level. And it's important to address these issues to create an inclusive environment which can enhance innovation and creativity and improve satisfaction and retention through your employees. So the first thing that I will be talking about are microaggressions. Microaggressions are essentially brief, everyday exchanges that can be on purpose, on accident, but basically sending belittling messages to individuals because of their differences, especially in the sake of minorities. So this could be something like, "Oh wow, you speak very good English for a non-American," or saying something about someone's skills in the workplace, or just as they're a foreigner, and maybe something that they didn't mean to say, but it can impair you mentally and not make you feel very good about where you are. So these exchanges are aimed at traditionally marginalized groups, and they can negatively impact careers as they are related to increased burnout and less job satisfaction, and require significant cognitive and emotional resources to recover from. So, allyship as a source can be helpful for this, because allies can call out microaggressions when they occur, which can provide support to the targeted individuals. So allyship, such as, I noticed what you said about John's English. Well, John is from America, just like us. So let's try to be more mindful about our assumptions, something like that. So the second issue I'll be talking about is imposter syndrome in the workplace. So imposter syndrome is just basically the idea, the feeling of doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud at your workplace. And this stemmed, like we said, from the high achieving women in the workplace 30, 40 years ago, who did not feel like they were in the right place at the work, even though they might have been achieving just as good or better as the people that they were working with. So with the idea of the imposter syndrome, something that could help is mentorship. So mentors can provide guidance, resources, reassurance, feedback, provide empathy and ideas that basically they do deserve to be there, as simple as it is. You are worthy of being here. You have done things like this and this that put you at this level where you really deserve to be here. And someone just like as a mentor can be very helpful in sharing their own experiences or offering strategies to overcome these feelings. So the third thing I'll be talking about in the workplace is unconscious biases. Now, unconscious biases are everywhere. They can be social stereotypes about groups, minorities, individuals from outside their own conscious awareness. So it's one of the largest barriers, and something that is not that easy to combat, as a person's predisposition in favor against something is not always at the surface, and something that might need a little time breaking. So something that could help this is sponsorship or mentorship, but basically something in the workplace that could be unknowing. For example, a manager unknowingly favoring a candidate because they went to the same university. Something like as simple as that, that's in the back of your brain. And something like sponsorship, which can advocate for high potential employees that don't really get the love that they deserve or the attention that they deserve, and these sponsors can ensure that these opportunities for growth are distributed equally throughout the workplace. And the sponsor might recommend a talented employee for a high-profile project, ensuring that they're worth it through their merit and not through biased perceptions. So the idea of allyship, sponsorship, and mentorship are all different, but they all provide similar help through the idea of being there for somebody who is not equally represented throughout the workplace. So allyship, sponsorship, and mentorship can be used for microaggressions, unconscious biases, and imposter syndrome, respectively. So the ideas here are that these things can help deter and bring notice to these things, such as microaggressions, and the idea that they are brought attention to, pointed out, and that they can be stopped in order to provide diversity, equity, and inclusion, create a culture of accountability, where mentorships can provide validation, reassuring mentees of their skills and accomplishments and worth. Sponsors can advocate for their sponsors to be given opportunities for prominent projects or promotions or important roles in the workplace. And this can help overcome biases in the workplace through one person, through a whole group of people, such as that. But overall, it's important to be aware of these issues in the workplace to ensure that diversity, equity, and inclusion are provided and existing in the workplace. And it's essential to be an upstander rather than a bystander, and not to hesitate to call out microaggressions, call attention to and help those with imposter syndrome, and to help change the ideals and trajectories of those with unconscious biases.